So, friends, I have come back with a new lesson, though I take so much time because I was a little bit busy in my work. And I hope that all will be safe in this turmoil situation. We'll all fight against the corona very well. And I hope that all my viewers will be safe and all will be stay happy and will be together. With this hope, I'm starting my discussion today. Today, I have selected a topic from the rural skill enhancement courses, which has been there in graduation courses of different university, mainly the rural development one. So here, a model has been discussed, and people have found a lot of problems. So I think I can make a video on that. So Lewis development model. So what is the basic concept of Lewis? Lewis is an economist, and Lewis has a view that in every country there is a two type of economic sectors are there. One is subsistence sector, which is called the agricultural sector. Another is capitalist sector, which can be said that it is an industrial sector. So in the sector, what we have found that here always the more labor is there. It means labor is more than the demand. As labor has less no labor and more than the demand in this particular sector, that's why the marginal productivity of the labor is zero. Marginal productivity means if you increase the number of labor, the productivity will not increase. So marginal productivity is very negligible or zero. That's why we have the problem of excess labor. They can be terminated, or they don't get the employment opportunity. And this excess labor, somehow they are not skilled, but this capitalist sector, they have a demand for the labor. So what they have done, they have hired this excess labor. And what kind of opportunity they have, as because this labor are not skilled, so they have kind of system and structure by which they can make them a little bit skilled. And the most important thing is that this labor are ready to work in a less wage, because they do not have the employment opportunity here, so they are ready to do their work in a very least wage. And that's why here one thing is happened, that day by day, as their demand is higher than this like their demand is less than their supply, so all the time in the capitalist sector, the industrialists can get the opportunity to force them to work in a least wage, and that's why their productivity will be higher. And as because they have to invest less in the to pay the wage of the labor, they have got so much profit. And day by day, as productivity is more, profit is more, then it is expanded. Capitalist sector started to expand it, and it is started to it is not expanded, rather it has become little bit shortage. Its area has been shortened down. And then as the invest is more in this particular sector, so it has started expanded. And the thing is happened, like labor are hired until their marginal productivity is equal to their wage labor or less their wage. So if until this situation was there, labor has been hired from this sector to that sector. If suddenly the labor marginal productivity is become greater, or I could say that it's become less sorry if the marginal productivity is equal to wage of the labor, or it is greater than the wage of the labor, that time people are ready to hire the labor in a more number. But when their marginal productivity is greater than their wage of the labor, or I could say when the wage is more than their marginal productivity, that time the labor is terminated, because people has to paid more money to hire the labor. And as because this is the reason why the termination is happened. So again, I make you clear, until the labor has got less wage, until their wage, the amount of wage the labor has got is less than less than their marginal productivity, people are ready to hire them. But when their wages become more than their marginal productivity, that time they are terminated. That's why in India, this scenario is quite common in India. Because why? Because in India we have a agricultural sector, and it's a subsistence sector, so that we have a lots of unskilled labor are there. And that's why they have a problem of what I could say they have a problem of unemployment, and that's why they have been working as a industrial labor, and they shifted from this sector to that sector. But what happened as, because when they're marginal, when they're asking that we need more wage, suddenly the industrialists started to terminate them, and that again the problem of unemployment has come to them. So the what he has said, that yes, the shifting of the agriculture has from the withdrawn of the agriculture labor into the capitalist sector is obviously showing that it is moving to the developing economy. But it is a question that how far it is profitable for the labor sector, labor class people. And one thing is that the criticism of this model is that Lewis has not mentioned about the issues of union, because union is there who has always forced the industrialists to increase the wage of the labor. And then is there skilled worker are is sometimes important, that all time unskilled labor cannot be hired. So these points are missing in this sector. But what he want to say that if one country has this kind of situation like India, how we can expand this sector, because the problem cannot be solved if this is not expanded as, and the opposite scenario is found here, that it is day by day this sector is started to obsolete and it has been expanded, then probably the labor do not get the profit, whereas sometimes the labor has get the same problem back. So he has said that if you go for the agricultural surplus, if you ask for foreign direct investment in the agricultural sector and slowing down the investment in the capitalist sector, that time we may can change this situation. So if I asking that why Lewis development model is important, because he has given a very good idea why the labor has been shifted or withdrawn from the agriculture to capitalist, but again why the lower class people or the development is not assured to them. So somehow the changing of the rural economy has been very has been addressed in a very justified way by Lewis. So that's all about this model. So if you have any questions and queries, please let me inform. And if you want that I make a video on your topic, so please let me inform. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope that all of you will be safe in this, and all of us will fight together against COVID-19. Hope all of us will be safe. Thank you. Good night.